What's up, guys? I'm back with another movie review. Today I'm here to talk about another one from Twilight Time Movies, and this one is Autofocus. So this is a based on real life, but obviously dramatized version of the final days of Bob Crane, who was already a celebrity, somewhat, kind of a mid-tier guy for a while. And whenever he got the lead on Hogan's Heroes, his popularity exploded. The show was a huge success, and he was greeted with kind of a lifestyle that, even as a mid-tier celebrity, just wasn't available to him at that until his career really skyrocketed. So he was a self-professed family man, one-woman man. However, when you get to a certain level of fame and fortune, certain temptations open up to you that maybe were not available or weren't as readily available before. And in the case of Bob Crane, that turns out to be women. And whenever he meets a very eccentric gentleman named Carpy, who's played by Willem Dafoe, who's kind of a tech expert and has access to all this cutting-edge electronics from Japan, the two start to kind of explore the idea of mixing sex with cameras. This begins by taking pictures of women and then evolves into videotaping. And Bob Crane and Carpy and kind of go out on this sexual journey where they meet all these women, most of whom are fans, of Bob Crane from Hogan's Heroes, and they indulge in these orgies and all these crazy sex parties, and film it and then watch it back later together in kind of some creepy scenes. There's some times when they're like watching old movies of themselves and it's just them and they're masturbating while they're watching them and like critiquing each other. It's really strange. But anyway, he gets pulled further and further into this abyss, and that's kind of what the movie is about, is Bob Crane's, downward spiral of addiction and compulsion when it came to drugs and women, and, his obsession with, filming and taking pictures of sexual acts. So this movie is based on real life, but obviously, like with any movie of this type, there's some, dramatizations made and, to make things a little bit spicier or whatever. But honestly, in this case, you don't need very much added. The Bob Crane story is incredibly dark. It's incredibly bizarre. If you're interested, if you watch the movie and you like it and you want to know more, I would definitely recommend researching it more. It's a very interesting, complex story. It's absolutely nuts. And here it's portrayed kind of in like a very controlled, restrained darkness, but it's still a really creepy, unsettling movie. Greg Kinnear is not an actor that I normally love to see, but I think he does a fantastic job here as this kind of regular, average family guy who falls into, not an average family guy. He's a celebrity, but he's just kind of a normal guy for the most part, and just gets sucked into this darker world. Then you have Willem Dafoe, who is absolutely creepy as hell in this, just unhinged performance, really really crazy, and the two have fantastic chemistry. The movie hints at kind of a relationship between the two, but it doesn't explore it much. I think one of my favorite scenes in the movie, though, is whenever they're watching an old video back and Bob Crane notices something on his ass, and so they freeze frame it, and actually Carpy is playing with his butt during the orgy, and they have this fight over it, and it's like such a couple fight, but it's really it's really funny and strange. This movie obviously does deal with sex a lot. It does have pretty frequent nudity, but honestly, it's not all that graphic. So even if you have pretty tame sensibilities, I don't think you should be too offended by this, unless you're just offended by the idea of it in general. Otherwise, I think the pacing is good. I think the movie's good. The writing is good. Paul Schrader is the director, so I think it's shot in a very interesting way that kind of almost makes it look like a little bit vintage, which is kind of nice. I think it works well for the subject matter. Great performances. You've also got Maria Bello, Rita Wilson. And then, of course, Willem Dafoe and Greg Kinnear are fantastic in the leads. So it's a really good movie. It's dark and it's weird, but it's super, super interesting story, and definitely one that even when the movie's over, you want to research more and find out more about it. The Blu-ray from Twilight Time has the isolated music track. As always, it's kind of a standard bearer for Twilight Time. It's also got 3 total audio commentary tracks. That's including the director, the 2 leads. Who's on the third one? Producers and the screenwriter. There's also 2 featurettes, deleted scenes with optional director's commentary, and some trailers. So it's a loaded disc. The transfer looks really nice. It's a huge improvement over the DVD. The way that the movie is shot, it kind of precludes super razor sharp, crisp detail But I think this, again, it really is a very noticeable improvement over the DVD. So I was pretty happy about that. So overall, I think the disc is fantastic. I think the movie is really good if you like kind of darker dramas, especially kind of true crime slash, biopic stuff. So that's my review of Autofocus. Definitely recommended. If you want to read my full write-up, you can go to markfusion.com and check that out, as well as tons of other Twilight Time movies and just all kinds of dark movies in general. It's kind of my specialty. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, all that fun stuff at Mark Fusion. You can also go to Letterboxd, where I diary what I'm watching. You can get an idea of what might be coming to the channel soon. But the best way to help me out is just to hit that sub button. It's a free, easy, direct way to support me. Help me to keep watching all these movies, talking to you guys about them, and posting these videos. And also, watching older videos is a huge, massive help to me that really helps me build this channel. So if there's something that catches your eye, or you want to see other Twilight Time movies, there's a lot of those in the playlist. Just know that you're really helping me out when you do that. Thank you so much for watching this video, though. I do sincerely appreciate it. Hopefully I'll see you guys soon.